First week of February, I don't even know, child. So, Nelson.
Y'all, I'm here making this. I say, let's see who's
The internet didn't just argue this time, it declared a full-volume digital civil war. Timelines are on fire, comment sections look like debate tournaments with 0 judges, and Chrisean rock is once again at the center of a viral storm so loud it could trigger weather alerts. Fight rumors flying. Car seat controversy trending. Reaction channels eating like it's an all-you-can-click buffet. And somehow every new post makes the story louder, messier, and more dramatic than the last. One clip turns into 10 theories. One theory turns into 50 hot takes. 50 hot takes turn into a live stream panel with microphones and absolutely no patience. This isn't regular celebrity buzz, this is algorithm warfare with emojis. People who don't even follow hip-hop are suddenly experts in parenting safety, conflict rumors, and internet law. Amazing how fast a smartphone turns into a law degree. Some viewers are defending. Some are accusing. Some are just here with popcorn and a fully charged battery. But everybody is watching. Because when controversy, speculation, and viral personalities collide, the internet doesn't scroll, it stares. Tonight we break down the rumors, the reactions, the outrage, and the meme explosion because this story didn't trend quietly. It arrived with sirens. The explosion didn't start with a press release. It started the way modern chaos always starts, with a clip, a caption, and a comment section that immediately forgot how to breathe. Within hours, timelines were flooded with reposts, reaction stitches, zoom-ins, slow-mos, and subtitles written like movie trailers. The internet looked at one viral moment and said, "Yes, let's turn this into a 12-episode series with no fact-checking and maximum emotion." That's the speed of outrage now. Faster than news. Faster than context. Faster than common sense on airplane mode. Suddenly, the phrase "fight rumors" started bouncing around like a loose shopping cart in a storm. No confirmed match. No official announcement, just speculation wearing rocket shoes. People started talking like contracts were signed, posters were printed, and pay-per-view links were loading, all based on internet chatter and dramatic interpretation. Social media has reached a point where a rumor puts on a jacket and people call it a documentary. At the same time, a separate controversy thread caught fire: the car seat debate. And if you've never seen the internet argue about parenting safety, buckle up, because it's louder than sports talk radio and twice as emotional. Suddenly everybody became a certified safety inspector with a PAAHDAADDDDHEHE and screenshot analysis. Angles were studied, frames were paused, opinions were delivered like court verdicts. The confidence level was Olympic. The verified information level was, let's call it, under construction. This is what happens when two viral topics collide: speculation plus safety debate equals engagement fireworks. The algorithm doesn't see nuance. It sees numbers. So every repost poured more gasoline on a narrative bonfire that was already visible from space. People weren't asking what actually happened, they were asking whose side they were supposed to be on. That's the modern formula. Don't investigate, affiliate. Reaction creators showed up at full sprint. Thumbnails with shocked faces. Titles with siren emojis. Words like exposed, breaking, and goes off flying around like confetti at a parade sponsored by overreaction. Some creators tried to slow things down and add context. They were rewarded with lower views and polite silence. Because calm explanation is a bicycle, drama is a jet engine, fan communities split instantly. One side said the outrage was exaggerated and opportunistic. Another side said the concerns were serious and justified. A third side said, "I don't know what's happening, but I refuse to be quiet about it." And that third group typed the most. Volume replaced verification. Passion replaced patience. The comment section turned into a courtroom where everyone is the prosecutor and nobody is sworn in. What makes this spiral even wilder is how fast online identity gets assigned. Instead of discussing moments, people start branding personalities. Labels appear. Narratives harden. Complexity gets thrown out like old furniture. Once a storyline forms, every new clip gets forced into it like luggage into an overhead bin. If it doesn't fit, People push harder, old videos resurfaced too, because the internet never deletes its archives for dramatic convenience. Past moments were replayed, recaptioned, and reinterpreted through today's outrage lens. Things that once passed quietly suddenly returned wearing flashing lights. That's the retroactive scandal effect. Yesterday's background noise becomes today's headline soundtrack. Meanwhile, sarcasm entered the arena because humor is how the internet processes overload. Memes started spawning at industrial speed. Safety manual jokes, fake referee edits, mock fight posters. The timeline became half debate, half comedy festival. That's the strange dual engine of viral culture outrage and entertainment run on the same fuel, and hovering over all of it was the biggest accelerant of all uncertainty. No clean timeline. No universally accepted version. No single clip that settled it. Just fragments, reactions, and emotional interpretations stitched together like a quilt made of hot takes. Uncertainty is engagement fertilizer. The less people know, the louder they talk. By now, the narrative machine was fully operational. Rumor treated like news. Commentary treated like evidence. Volume treated like truth. And we're still only at the ignition stage because once the internet smells controversy, escalation isn't a possibility. It's a promise. And this is where the situation stopped being a trending topic and turned into a full-blown digital sport. Teams formed. Jerseys printed themselves. Comment sections drafted captains. Nobody agreed on the facts, but everybody agreed on being loud. The conversation didn't just grow, it mutated. What started as rumor plus concern plus speculation turned into livestream marathons, mega threads, and reaction chains longer than movie credits. Reaction panels popped up everywhere, each one promising the real breakdown like they were selling exclusive access to the truth warehouse. Split screens filled with passionate voices talking over each other like auctioneers competing for oxygen. Every sentence started with, "Let me say this," and ended with 10,000 people typing in all caps. It sounded less like analysis and more like competitive yelling with Wi-Fi. The meme economy hit peak production too. Not casual jokes, cinematic edits, fake fight posters, parody safety manuals, slow motion zooms with dramatic orchestra music like somebody turned a comment war into an action trailer. The internet doesn't just react anymore, it produces. If chaos happens, content factories open immediately. No permits required. Then came the body language detectives and frame-by-frame professors. People analyzed posture, gestures, eye movement, camera angles like social media just launched its own forensic science division. A pause became guilt. A shrug became proof. A camera tilt became motive. It was CSI. Screenshot unit. Credentials. None. Confidence. Undefeated. Celebrity-adjacent voices added spice without naming names, which of course made everyone name names. Cryptic quotes went live at suspiciously perfect timing. Energy reveals truth. Patterns don't lie. Watch closely. The vaguer the post, the louder the reaction. Subtlety online lasts about 6 seconds before somebody attaches a headline and 3 red arrows. The parenting safety debate branch of the controversy grew its own legs and started running sprints. Now you had 2 parallel outrage highways merging into one traffic jam. Safety advocates, defenders, critics, neutral observers all arguing like the comments section was a town hall with broken microphones. People weren't discussing, they were testifying emotionally. What's wild is how quickly nuance gets evicted. Complex situations get flattened into slogans. Slogans turn into hashtags. Hashtags turn into positions. Positions turn into identities. Suddenly you're not just commenting, you're representing a side. Neutral takes get treated like suspicious packages. The algorithm, meanwhile, was having a 5-star dinner. Engagement numbers rising. Watch times stretching. Share velocity exploding. Platforms don't ask, "Is this resolved?" They ask, "Is this active?" Conflict is active. Disagreement is active. Calm resolution is terrible for business and excellent for being ignored. Old clips kept resurfacing like sequel villains. Past moments re-edited with new captions, new music, New outrage. The narrative stacking effect kicked in hard. People started connecting dots that weren't even on the same page. Coincidences were promoted to strategy. Random timing became clearly intentional. The internet does not believe in accidents, only plots. Fan bases turned into defense departments. Timestamp threads appeared. Context compilations dropped. Alternate angle edits rolled out. Digital attorneys presenting Exhibit A through Z with passion and ring lights. On the other side, critics built counter threads just as detailed and twice as dramatic. It became less about discovering truth and more about winning narrative territory. And let's talk about tone inflation. Every new take had to be louder than the last take to get attention. Regular outrage became deluxe outrage. Concern became alarm. Alarm became catastrophe. Language stretched like elastic until everything sounded like the end of civilization sponsored by a riposte. Pop culture comparisons went completely off the rails. People said the drama had more twists than reality TV finales, more debate than championship sports shows, more reaction episodes than a streaming franchise. Somebody said you need a flowchart and emotional armor to keep up. Honestly, they're not wrong and they're still underestimating. Here's the deeper twist: once a public figure becomes the center of repeated viral storms, expectation rewrites perception. Viewers start watching with anticipation of chaos. Even neutral moments feel charged because the audience arrives pre-excited. It's like walking into a movie already convinced there will be explosions. Every door slam sounds like a bomb. By now, pressure is building in every direction: public image pressure, audience pressure, association pressure. Because viral escalation doesn't just make noise, it creates weight. And weight leads directly into the next phase: consequences, reputation shifts, alliance changes. And the part of the story where the volume drops but the impact gets heavier. Now we enter the phase nobody clips, nobody memes properly, and nobody plans for the consequence chapter. Because viral storms are fun when they're loud, but fallout is quiet and heavy. This is where the comment wars slow down just enough for reputation gravity to kick in. The same attention that lifted the story into the sky now hangs over it like a spotlight that forgot how to turn off. Public perception starts shifting in layers. Not one big flip, 1,000 small ones. Some fans grow more protective. Others grow more skeptical. Some pretend they were always neutral, like the internet doesn't keep receipts, like a paranoid accountant. Loyalty gets louder on one side. Doubt gets sharper on the other. And the middle ground becomes a ghost town with no Wi-Fi. Here's the part most viewers underestimate: once a personality becomes strongly linked with repeated viral controversy cycles, every future moment gets interpreted through that filter. A calm post becomes damage control. A happy post becomes distraction energy. A quiet day becomes strategic silence. Interpretation replaces observation. Motive replaces moment. The audience stops watching events and starts reading tea leaves and thumbnails. Brand and collaboration conversations start getting whispered and then shouted across commentary spaces. People speculate about who will partner, who will distance, who will stay publicly supportive. In modern celebrity culture, association is treated like a public vote. Standing next to someone becomes a statement. Not standing next to them becomes a louder one. Relationship dynamics, personal and professional, get dragged into the spotlight too. Support becomes proof. Neutrality becomes suspicion. Disagreement becomes betrayal. The internet doesn't allow simple human complexity, it wants clear roles and dramatic dialogue. You're either fully aligned or secretly plotting, according to people with usernames and strong emotions. Another long-term effect kicks in here: narrative lock. Once the internet assigns a storyline label, it sticks like permanent marker. Wild card, drama magnet, unfiltered, unpredictable, whether fair or exaggerated. The label becomes the shortcut version of the person. Future clips don't get judged fresh, they get judged familiar. Confirmation bias becomes the most active viewer in the room. Audience fatigue starts creeping in too, but it's sneaky. First, people are energized, then deeply invested, then slightly exhausted but still watching. The casual viewers drift away first. The emotionally committed stay and get louder per person. Engagement doesn't die, it concentrates like espresso. But don't confuse fatigue with ending. Viral controversies don't end, they go into sleep mode. They sit quietly until one new clip, one unexpected interview, one sideways comment wakes the entire storyline back up like it never left. Internet drama runs on sequel logic. There is always another chapter loading. Reaction creators face their own boomerang effect as well. The ones who exaggerated too hard get replayed later with "look what you said" compilations. The ones who stayed measured get called the only reasonable one in hindsight threads. Covering the storm means becoming part of the storm's archive. Nobody who speaks loudly escapes replay. The mythology effect grows bigger than the moments themselves. The real person becomes a symbol in public conversation of chaos, authenticity, volatility, resilience, depending on who's narrating. Symbols are easier to debate than humans, so debates never run out of fuel. Humanity gets simplified into storyline roles because roles are easier to argue about at scale, and curiosity refuses to retire. Viewers still want the next reveal, the next clarification, the next pivot moment. Not because they hate, but because unresolved tension is addictive. Closure is the rarest product online. Suspense is always in stock. Here's the dramatic truth with the volume turned all the way up in the social media fame era. Intensity builds attention faster than stability. But stability sustains credibility longer than intensity. Viral fire gets you known. Controlled fire keeps you standing. Wildfire gets views and leaves smoke. Right now, the audience is still refreshing, still debating, still screenshotting like digital historians. Which means one thing is guaranteed: this story may cool. But the spotlight memory won't. Because once the algorithm learns your name, it installs permanent notifications. If your brain feels like it just survived a 3-season binge of internet chaos with no commercial breaks, congratulations. You're officially certified in viral drama studies. And here's the twist. In this world, the credits never roll, they just shrink and move to the corner while the next scandal loads. Because online controversy doesn't retire, it responds with better lighting and louder thumbnails. That's why you don't just watch, you stay subscribed and strapped in. If you made it all the way through, you're not a casual viewer, you're front row. Notebook open, popcorn finished, refresh button worn out. So go ahead and smash that like button like it leaked your group chat, borrowed money and forgot your name, and said "trust me" with zero details. Hit subscribe like breaking drama depends on it, because here, it absolutely does. We don't whisper recaps. We drop full volume breakdowns with extra spice and zero boredom. Now I want your take in the comments. Are internet controversies getting bigger, or are reactions getting louder? Are viral moments misunderstood, overblown, or perfectly engineered for attention? Drop your verdict, your theory, and your spiciest one-liner. Smart takes get pinned. Savage takes get spotlighted. Legendary comments get remembered. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next meltdown, reveal, twist, or timeline earthquake, because drama doesn't send calendar invites. It kicks the door open and trends instantly. Remember, receipts live forever, narratives change hourly, and the algorithm never sleeps. Stay loud, stay sharp, stay ahead of the noise. This is where